Anybody want to discuss what they've done with these documents and where you are with them?
Thomas, I wondered if we should be placing a value on each of the items that we put on the financing statement.
On the $47 billion lien document?
Yes.
That's a good question to ask Patrick.
Okay.
Breaking it up so that they can't wiggle out of it because they said, well, you didn't put a specific number on it.
Right.
Okay. And in a way, he's sort of doing that, but with this new non-UCC, where he's actually he's assigning the value of $25 million to it and wanting the justly converted credit assets delivered to him. But you could still have it an even bigger lien than that sitting on it.
Right.
Yeah, we could ask him that. Also, a question I have is if you want to expand on that, this block number 4 for collateral on the UCC form isn't all that big, and can we expand it to a separate attached sheet of paper?
Right.
Or is that what we do the amendment for, UCC 3? And he'll probably steer us away from the UCC.
Right. We can do a UCC 1 addendum.
Yeah, but that addendum doesn't have that much room either, does it?
I don't know.
Can you hear me?
Looked at it.
Can you hear me, Thomas?
Yeah.
Okay, I've done this before, and you can write everything that you want in the for collateral on a Word document, and you can copy and paste it in here, and whatever is too much for this area, it will create another page and move over to there. So it's not an addendum, and it's not a 3. But it will carry this over to a new sheet.
By it, are you saying the Adobe program will do that? Because the form itself automatically, a piece of paper won't automatically do that.
I'm not sure if it was Adobe or not, but I know that I created my information on a Word document that was pretty lengthy, and then when I copied and pasted, it put everything in here, but when you went to print it off, it showed on another, the remaining showed it on a separate sheet of paper as continuum or something like that.
Well, I should experiment with that and see if PDF Escape does that. I know what it does, that if you start putting more and more in there, PDF Escape starts reducing the type size.
Gotcha.
So you could end up with really micro print if you put a lot in there.
Okay.
So, and when you're saying that the Adobe basically produces a separate attachment then, if it's too big?
Yeah, it basically goes to a page 2.
So that if we don't have Adobe to do it, we could just do that ourselves.
I believe so.
Okay. I should experiment and see what happens when I try that.
Okay.
Okay. Because if we're going to be putting a lien value, then we're going to need more room for all that stuff in there. So, how are people doing with it? I've basically got mine ready to go, and it's looking. We still need our basic authorization package with our hospital birth record and our baptismal record giving us land and sea jurisdiction.
For these non-UCC filings, okay? You need to go out and you need to do all these, your non-UCC filings. Say, like, take your driver's license and your certificate of title. You put them on one non-UCC filing because you're going to send these back to the Department of Transportation. Okay? I put the example of that one up there on the site. Okay? You use a registered mail label. When you put the number up there from the registered mail label, then you put a global stamp below that, and you post it using your 13-digit post office box number. That means, like in my case, IA, and then 52591-8236, and then -US. 13 digits, just like the registered mail label is 13 digits. Any item you have out here against a Social Security account, against a certificate of live birth, okay, you come in and basically you put a lien, a claim and a lien against this. This goes all the way back to the 1960 movie known as North to Alaska with John Wayne. Basically, this shyster gambler came into town and basically got somebody to place a claim against John Wayne and his partner's gold mine. Okay, and that's what they've done with you. The banks, the state, the courts, everybody's placing a claim against your gold mine in the process because you have not claimed it. Once you claim it, basically they can't do anything with it. Okay? You caught them in the game that they're playing. It's that simple. And then they've got to liquidate these things out when you demand the liquidation of them because most all of these were supposed to be done at the age of 21. Okay? And several of them were never to be instituted anyway. Like, what do you need a drug? What do you need to have a seatbelt? How come they're charging you for a seatbelt? It's up to you. That's a moral charge. All these codes and regulations and statutes are all for the corporation. You're not a corporation. You're an international organization when you are two princes, a prince on the land and a prince on the sea. You have your two documents, your real birth certificate, either a hospital birth certificate or a Bible entry page. Same thing with basically the Admiralty certificate, baptismal certificate, because you were christened, T-E-N, not T-I-A-N. Has nothing to do with religion. It is blessing a vessel on the water. Okay? Normally a big ship, they break a bottle of champagne over the bow and bestow a name on the vessel. Well, they do the same thing with a living body that knows how to float on the water. They don't normally all sink them, try and drown them, see if they'll pop back up. Normally they just sprinkle a little water over their bow. But they bless the name of that vessel. Key documents I've been talking about here for about the last 2 months in this process. But the non-UCC, that was a biggie right there. And then knowing how to fill out the non-UCC correctly, and then where to send it to, like the driver's license, you would send it into driver's license, title to the vehicle, you would send that into the State Department of Transportation. Your house would normally go in probably to the Agriculture Department, if that's where they're located. You have to check and find out where that certificate of title basically originated from. Your certificate of live birth, you will basically do the UCC against it, and then send the original back in with a certified copy of this non-UCC. You keep the original non-UCC in a closed envelope in the registered mail envelope that comes back to you, along with a copy of whatever instrument you're submitting out. Okay? Endorsed over to whoever. You put a copy of that in there. The original you're going to be sending back to the party with a certified copy of the non-UCC into them. Okay? You can also, in some cases, like for the Social Security, when you do that one, you might want to also send a copy, fax it down to the Inspector General for the Social Security Administration. And then also send a copy up to the U.S. trustee that you're ordering the liquidation of this account. So that basically you've made several other people aware, and then basically if these guys do not comply, then basically they're in violation of Title 15, U.S.C. Section 1 and 2. And basically you're going to sign, in a lot of cases, as the private attorney general for your international organization. Now you are a court officer in the process, and you can issue charges out here as a court officer. You're a de jure court officer, okay, in the process. You're not a court officer of the fraudulent bar courts, but you're a court officer of the de jure county court. Okay? So when you have your claims in, they can't charge that anymore because you just trumped their liens and claims against your assets. You're the true owner. They're only a fraudulent beneficial owner. But you have to do this. You have to get these non-UCC filed. Now, one other one to do is basically claim your 9-digit post office number. Okay, like in my case, IA, and then my 9-digit zip code, and then U.S. That is a post office number here in the United States of America. That's an exemption number. We basically then can come in and basically put that UCC in to the post office postmaster, and then we won't have to pay any postal charges. You can turn around and any previous postal charges that you had, the receipts you take, you do a 1047 form, and you get that paid back all of your postal charges because everything was prepaid. But you have to stand in the de jure in the post office. There was something missing, and one guy has 3 YouTubes out there talking about going in and basically getting certified mail labels and getting the account to zero out. But he never said what number he was using to get it there. What allowed you to be in the post office system? Well, you have to file a U.C.C. and put a claim or a lien against the postal system. And you do this all in your private. Doing these registered mailings back to you, and then you have the originals and you do the certifying on that UCC1 form on the instruction. It does not say any of these UCCs have to be filed with the Secretary of State or the county. The banks don't do it. The Department of Transportation doesn't file them there. The Social Security Administration doesn't file them there. The Bureau of Biostatistics doesn't file their liens and claims there. Where are they at? They're in their own records, hidden from you. And then why do you lose in court, in these banking courts, these bar attorney courts? It is because you don't come into that court with a proper claim. They show the claim to the judge. They don't show it to you because you never asked for it. You only think you get full disclosure from the prosecutor. You will never get full disclosure from these lying shitheads. So basically, the documents I had Tom post up there today, I had an example of an endorsement that goes back on the Social Security card. You can do an endorsement on the back of the Certificate of Live Birth, pretty much the same way. On the back of DD-214, on the back of your certificate of title to your vehicle, on the back of a copy of your driver's license, and submit that in. On a copy of just about anything you want out there, you scan a JPG in, and then you do the endorsement back over to them. Okay? And then you put a global stamp on the back on that endorsement also, and you post it. Okay? You use these global stamps. They're $1.15 right now. I use the North American global stamps, and basically I'm having a heyday with this shit now. That I mean, I'm making buku amount of documents, and then basically you've got to have a cover letter when you go send these guys in. So you got to think about what you're writing up in the cover letter. But it should not be all that hard. I mean, you're all adults. You ought to be able to think some of this stuff for yourself after you get the starting point of where to go. So, it's pretty quick and fast. So, go ahead and open it up for questions, Tom.
Okay. Now, you when you do the registered mail, you get the label and you write the number on your document before you put it in the envelope and mail it off?
You basically you print it out, okay?
Yeah.
On there, either handwrite it or whatever. If you've got a PDF program that you can insert text like what I printed there and send over to you, it's right there, okay? So you turn around. You got to listen, okay? You ask me a question. Let me finish the answer, okay? You get that in there just like I have, okay? You don't put the certified mail up there on it yet. That will be printed afterwards. You get the stamp, and you stamp it and everything. Then you run copies of that. You scan a copy into your computer so you can make more copies of it, because the original is going to go into the envelope that you're going to mail back to yourself, and you're going to leave that envelope unopened. You're going to seal it up, and it's going to remain that way. And then if anybody demands to see that, you're going to charge them to see it. Most of these guys will not touch this with a 10-foot pole.
Is that not a security?
Someone's got something's going on there.
I think that Robert has some kind of whistle going.
Sorry about that.
Yes, all these things are securities. This is your security, your claim. It belongs to you, so it's your security.
And you can put a value on the lien that you want to put on your security, correct?
Yes, like I said, I put $25 million against both my driver's license and against my certificate of title to my vehicle. When you read that document that I had Tom post up there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Now, I had the example, I think, that I posted up the other day with the item, okay, registered mail. Well, maybe not. But basically, I put $47 billion.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Because I like the 47 number, because it appears in quite a few movies. You make it more, if it's less than that, if it's only $6 billion, and that's all there is, well, basically, so what? You're going to get paid that amount, and there ain't going to be nothing left over for anybody else.
Correct.
That's why you put the claim as high as you want to.
Right. Well, that's kind of like part of what you have to place a value on it, and that's up to you. That's not up to anybody else. I mean, it
you
can
place
be whatever.
The claim against it, and basically, then you will get what value there is in the process. Okay, but you trump them so that you don't make it for $1.98 and think you're going to get paid first. Yeah, you'll get paid the $1.98. But then they're going to get their $250.
Right.
So you got to make it $25 million or something like that, and there's not $25 million there. There's only maybe $1.5 million there. But that means they ain't going to get paid. So why are they going to mess with a court case if they ain't going to get paid?
They're not going to.
That's right. They're not going to get paid because you took it all off the table. There's nothing left for them. Case dismissed.
Well, you're the holder in due course.
You are the secured party creditor. You're the true secured party creditor.
Okay. But are you
because
not
you're the secured party on this UCC. We were always the secured party in this country.
On the non-UCC, right?
We're supposed to be that underneath the Constitution. We're the secured party. The government was supposed to be securing our security. We own the Treasury, not the government. I also had Tom post up a document there about the eagle, the great seal of this country. You need to look that over and understand all the 13s that are on there.
You missed one.
Which one?
E pluribus unum. Comes out to 13 letters.
Well, basically, couldn't see that basically too much.
It's okay. Oh, actually, another one too. There's olives. There's not only is there olive leaves. There's olives on the olive branch.
Yeah. Well, see, that's just showing that olive leaves in the right hand just shows where the Son of Man has placed his post in life. That's all that's referring to. Where is your post in life? You can always pick it up and move it somewhere else. Johnny Appleseed planted trees all over the damn place.
Yeah.
Okay? don't get wrapped up in the damn Patriot bullshit.
Oh, I'm not even.
Simple.
I'm coming into some awarenesses that what you're talking about carries some weight. I didn't see it before, but now I do. You follow?
Yeah. And see, I've been talking about this 13 for a long time out here, is that when a man is underage, normally they're at 12, okay? The number of man is 12. When he comes of age, and he comes of age of understanding and brings his spirit into the system, now he adds 1, and he adds up to 13. All these bankers and these government officials, they hate the number 13 because you just took control away from them. And that's why when I started seeing these registered mail labels, and when I put that up on the my non-UCC and said, well, hell, we can do this right ourselves. We don't need to go to the county recorder's office. We don't need to file anything there. We just send it back to ourselves. And I was trying to do this about 5-6 years ago and had the understanding about we can, if we have the original, we can be the certifier. But I didn't quite catch on there about these non-UCCs because initially I thought we had to file all these at the Secretary of State's office. Hell no, they won't take them. They don't even know what a non-UCC is at the Secretary of State's office. Call them up and ask them. I want to file a non-UCC, and they'll say, what? We don't file non-UCCs here. Ask them.
I'm not going through that.
Why not?
Because I've already been through it.
Okay, then don't say I'm not going to go through that if you've already been through that, okay? You
Why
did
not?
it, and you say, hey, he's right. Because I tried.
That's true. That's
okay?
exactly, that's
say
another.
that.
I
Okay?
apologize.
Okay.
And you got to double confirming. We've already been doing that. He is absolutely correct. He's spot on.
Yeah.
Okay.
And see, that's what you guys need to stand up. If you've done something that basically I've done out here, and I'm telling you the same thing, and you confirm what I'm saying, okay?
Right. Well, I'm thinking that what you're doing right now, Patrick, is you're basically, in a manner of speaking, teaching the banking business aspect of running the trusts or the estates or the individual banker or whatever it is that you're going to be running. You're sharing
I'm
with
going to be putting my shit in my cookie jar in the backyard, okay? There is no fucking trust in this country. Get that word out of your mind, okay? Don't use it. You do not trust. Basically, that is condemned in the Bible. Big time. Tempt not the Lord thy God. That means you do not tempt your neighbor with your assets. In other words, you don't trust your assets with somebody else. That means no fucking trust. Okay? You guys got that?
What about an entrustment?
Huh?
What about an entrustment?
An entrustment just means you deposited something there. Use the right word. I deposited my assets over here, and this shithead over here is holding my stuff, and they're making a profit off of it. I'll want it back.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Getting back to the document that you're talking about, in Area 4, you're talking about your 13-digit non-UCC number. Why is it listed with a PA and then US at the end?
Because that is my 98 series foreign grantor trust EIN.
Oh, okay. So that falls under your secured party documents.
It falls under basically that 98 series number. It's a foreign grantor trust, DIN. Okay?
Oh.
We can draw from the de jure treasury of the country, but we can only draw it if it's a 13-digit number. Well, the funny thing about those 98 or 99, whatever they call that foreign grantor trust DIN, is that it can only be issued out of Pennsylvania, Philadelphia.
Okay.
The letters for Philadelphia or for Pennsylvania address means that is a post office located in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And
Not
it's
a
a
problem.
United States post office located in Pennsylvania. That's why I put PA in front of it and U.S. behind it. Because where was the first post office and who was the first postmaster general in this country?
Benjamin Franklin, PA.
In Philadelphia. Where was the first capital of this country? Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. Okay, I'll shut up now and let y'all get back to haggling.
Oh, no, if you got something else to haggle about, haggle. I love a little competition here.
Oh, I'm not into no competition with you. I'm trying to learn. This is my first
That's the
time
only way
on
you can learn is basically have a little confrontation.
I'm just a dumbass truck driver, that's all.
No, you're right.
So-
Tell me another one.
Yeah, so if you say you're only trying...
You've heard more shit out there probably on the road than most people have sitting behind the damn football TV.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
My name's
Bring
Rocky.
your expertise to the table.
I'm just, I was invited to get on the call.
Uh-huh.
I was sent a lot of your literature. I'm the dumbass that put the commercial lien against 4 counties in the state of Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still out of jail, but I haven't collected yet.
Well, you're probably not going to collect on that until basically you take them into a Chapter 15 bankruptcy under Title 15.
Well, that's part of the reason I'm on this call.
But the thing is, you don't do that until you get all your assets out of the system and you get into the de jure capacity out here. Then you can turn around and shut these guys down.
And that's what I'm working on, and I'm going to need your assistance to do it, Patrick.
Yeah, because, I mean, just walk into one of the next county commissioners voting on raising the property taxes. Go in there and ask them, I want full disclosure on all the funds that you're going to make off of raising these taxes.
Well, I did that 4 years ago, and they escorted me out with the local police department.
Well, basically, you've got to get the police department in there, too, and basically you also need to contact the IRS that these guys are trying to claim that they're operating as a charitable organization, and they're not paying any taxes because they're hiding the items that they're getting, the profits, the kickbacks and everything, in the employees, the public employees' retirement system.
That's right.
Yeah, and see, it's not being taxed because they're saying that that's a charity. Bullshit. None of these damn government officials were ever supposed to have a retirement being paid by the bankers.
It's listed here in Grand Junction, Colorado as a nonprofit organization.
Right. But it can't be a nonprofit organization if they're getting a kickback into the public system and they're making a profit off of your dumbness.
Yeah.
Because you didn't claim your property away from the state. See, you've got property taxes out there in the state. You have to claim that certificate of title to the property and get all those property taxes back. You walk in there and you put something out in the newspaper in the county and basically tell all the people, hey, You want your property taxes back for the last 20 years? Come and see me. I'll tell you how to do it. You just file a non-UCC and against your property and against that certificate of title. And then you send that into the Ag Department or to the Secretary of State or to the Attorney General and say, hey, pay me now.
Well,
You'll have every one of those damn people in the county on your side of the fence. Even the sheriff will side with you because, oh, shit, I'm getting all this money back.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was invited on this call. I'm looking over your non-UCC document, and I don't have a PA account anywhere. So that means I'm going to...
You don't have it yet. You can always go and get one. You just call up. There's a phone number to call up and get a foreign grantor trust number. We've got the template, and we've got audios on the site, either in econcurrent.com /divine in the file section there, and even in the audio section that we talk about that. Also on We the People, all one word, _ shareholders. It's a Yahoo group, and you have to go in there and be signed up with Yahoo, and then you get into the Yahoo group, and then you just click on to join the group, and it's nothing to join, and it's automatic, and Tom will send you a welcome aboard letter, also with several other items on where to go and sign up on Skype, and then basically every time he posts any new files, he'll send out a email. An email automatically goes out that there's a new file posted.
All right. Then I'll get with Tom either later tonight or tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Or basically just go into the site and get that. We the People _ shareholders with an S. It's a Yahoo group. The other is eConcurrent, E and then concurrent, all one word, and then .com, and then /divine. And there's audios and there's files there. The latest files are in folder 38. The latest audios are all the way down towards the very bottom in the audio section.
All right, I'll do that.
Okay. Anybody else?
That's about it. I'm just going to sit back and listen now.
Okay. Anybody else out there have anything?
Yeah, I have 2 questions for you, Patrick.
Okay.
First question. Should we place a value on each item that we put on the non-UCC?
Well, it all depends on what you're doing with the UCC. Okay? If you're doing the birth certificate, normally you're only putting one item down there on doing the birth certificate. Okay?
Okay.
And basically that would you put in there for 10, 15, $20 billion, whatever. I put 45 billion or 47 billion because I like 47. Okay? Because it's in quite a few movies, so I just arbitrarily said, well, basically, if it's in the damn movies, I'm going to use 47.
Right.
Okay? Now, you do that with the Social Security account. Okay? That's the only thing you put on the Social Security one. Your driver's license and your certificate of title, they go to the Department of Transportation. So those two you can match up. Okay? If you have basically some other item there, 3 or 4 vehicles, you put all those on the one going to the Department of Transportation. But I wouldn't mix and match and put the vehicles on the same document you're doing the Social Security one for.
Okay.
Okay. See, that's what I'm trying to get out here. The post office, you do one strictly for the post office. You're claiming that post office number, and then that will be your exemption number. If you paid any postal charges, you can claim those postal fees back using your 1047 form.
Okay. So if I put 3 titles, 4 titles on one non-UCC, should I place a value for each one of those titles or just put a blanket value for all of them?
basically on the document that I sent out, I said $25 million for both.
Okay.
Yeah, read what I said. So I got
Okay,
$25 million against my driver's license, and I got $25 million against my pickup title.
Okay.
Fidelity bond of about $11.2 million out there. And a fidelity bond out here is made up of, since these are child construction contracts, okay, they're a construction contract, they have to have, for the Miller Act, they have to have a performance and a payment bond, 2 bonds. So, but when they merge together, they call it a fidelity bond.
Okay.
Yeah. And see, when you go into the fidelity system and basically put the 9-digit number in there, it's going to pop up and say, hey, that's $11.2 million. So that's covering both bonds in the process.
Yeah.
And then look at all the references I have down below. See this? The 14th Amendment. People have totally messed that up in understanding what that 14th Amendment says. You've got to be able to read and read between the lines of what these items are saying. Willie Nelson's movie, Blonde Ambition. 3 times in the movie, 1/3 the way through the movie, 2/3 the way through the movie, and at the very end. Read between the lines.
Yes.
I mean, they don't put these things in movies for naught. And when they put something in there 3 times, it is very important you see and understand what they're saying. That they hide it away from the bankers and everything. These bankers, they ain't that smart. They're shysters, but that's all they know how to do. You can pull the rug out from underneath them, and they're going to fall flat on their ass. And they will more than likely hang themselves, just like some of these judges will hang themselves out of their arrogance and everything, trying to prove you wrong. And the IRS and the true Justice Department and the Treasury will love to chew them up. Because if you can come in and prove the fraud that they're doing, they will defend you to the T.
I like that.
Okay, anybody else?
Yeah, Patrick. I brought it up on the group that we probably could put multiple UCCs and documents in one registered mailing. Do you see any problem with that?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
I wouldn't. I would separate them out. Okay? You're going to get the money back from the post office anyway.
Good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just thinking we could put some like landmines in there, like a judgment or something like that, and make it so, okay, if Your Honor, if you're going to open this envelope, you're going to certify all the documents that are inside from here on out.
What does it say in the Bible? What does it say in the Lord's Prayer? Go say the Lord's Prayer 25 times. That's your penance for tonight. Okay?
Okay.
Forgive thy trespassers and get on with your life. But take the shit away from them. That's Pat's prayer.
Thank you, my good man.
Because if they've done this once, they will do it again, and they will hang themselves. But wait until you're out of the system and then you can come in and send the right people to pick them up. You don't do the enforcement. You let the appropriate people do the enforcement, like especially the CID of the IRS. They love to go after these damn tax cheats. We're not the tax cheats. We don't owe any taxes. But all of these bankers are claiming we're the ones that owe the taxes. And when we wake up the CID that basically they've been punishing the wrong people, they will basically punish these other guys 10 times worse. That's the way it's written in the Bible. Is it not? Okay. Anybody else out there?
I have another question for you, Patrick.
Yeah.
So you're suggesting the non-UCCs that we do for, like, the driver's license and car title and stuff like that need to be sent to specific places. Should we also send a copy to the U.S. trustee of all of these things that we're sending to all these various places?
Yes.
Okay.
I would also send a copy to the state attorney general if it's a state item.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that basically they can follow up to make sure that that department does what they're told to do. Because otherwise, now you've notified them, and basically their neck is on the line too.
Yep.
You've involved them into the process. They're now a co-conspirator, and basically they do not want their name drugged through the mud. See how to play the game against these guys?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm beginning to see it more clearly.
Yeah. See, we've been arguing the wrong things out here in all the court cases, trying to go in and argue statutory and codes of law, and they're all bullshit. They're all for the corporation. They're not for the living person. The only thing that applies to the living person is the Constitution that's supposed to be protecting our rights out here, our banking rights, and the amendments. And then only the amendments up to and through the 15th Amendment. Everything from there on is a total fraud. The 6th all the way up, giving women the right to vote, that's a total ludicrous amendment. For the corporation, yeah, it's an amendment for the corporations, but it's not an amendment for the people. Women do not have the right to vote. They were supposed to be a family vote in this process in this country. And basically, if the people had their proper assets, there probably wouldn't be as much drunkenness, drugs, and divorce in this country as there is. That's the banker's game. Split the people up, split the families, destroy the farms. Get everybody out there trying to work for a profit. But whose profit is it? It's for the corporation and the banker's profit, not for your profit. You're getting screwed. Hell, you're not even making the same wages I made back in '69. I got $2.25 in silver in '69. That equates out to about $40 an hour. So if you're getting $17 an hour, you're getting less than $1 silver dollar. Half of what I was getting paid back in '69. you're working for slave wages. The commodities really haven't changed that much, but your labor payment has. That's why people have to go out and work 3 and 4 jobs out here. Because you are working for slave wages. And in some cases, a hell of a lot less than some people like you, maybe even in China, Mexico, where they're getting real payment. Okay, anybody else have any questions?
I have another question for you.
Okay.
For doing the registered mail system with sealed envelope and whatnot, what if I used an 8.5 by 14 sheet of paper and put my non-UCC on the bottom 11 inches of that, and on the top 3 inches, put the addresses and everything, and then folded it so that the non-UCC is all hidden behind that top 3 inches of addresses, and then taped it so it stays folded.
Why are you trying to do something that basically it's already laid out? The UCC is on an piece of paper, okay? Leave it there.
Well, my thought is to have the UCC number, the cancellation of the stamp, and all of that on the same document.
It is. I said, look at the template that I posted up there. The registered mail number is there. You don't get any other UCC number. Okay? You're not taking this to the county or to the state. You're doing this all yourself. So your UCC number, your non-UCC number, is the registered mail number.
Right. I'm sorry, I misspoke. That's what I meant. The registered mail number is my UCC number.
And then basically the position I have on that document, there's enough room below it to put your global stamp.
Oh.
And then basically when you run a copy of that, there's enough room above it to put your certified mail template printing on there.
Certified copy.
I tried to lay it out there for you guys so it's automatic.
Okay.
Yeah, look at these documents. Don't try and reinvent the wheel. I invented it for you.
Okay.
Don't piss off the creator.
Patrick, I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead. Come on, I got to get a little humor out of this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I caught it. I thought that was funny.
Okay. I'm not really trying to jump down your throat. I'm just trying to tell you why do something over again when it's sitting right there, and go and print it out. Go and get a global stamp. See if it'll fit there. I've done 3 of them already, and I got about another 4 to go sitting here. And basically, went in and got another 15 global stamps today because I'm going to have to do some for my brother. He got a traffic ticket the other day, so I'm going to go in, get his certificate of title, a copy of his driver's license, and turn these into the state. And then basically, when that traffic ticket comes up, they're dead in the water. He's going to get all of his assets back. The driver's license is going to get pulled. The title on his vehicle is going to get pulled. The cashed out value, he's going to get all that back. And then basically he's going to have this UCC stating that he don't need a driver's license, and they will basically put him on the green sheet out here that they can't write a ticket against him. I went into the sheriff's office and handed a copy of this UCC that I had Tom post today, and also this document about the 13, the Great Seal of the country, and gave that to the sheriff, explained a little bit to the deputy, and said, hey, when people get this filled out, you guys can't write any tickets against us unless we cause harm or damage. End of subject. Have a good day.
Was there any response from the deputy?
No, basically he's a younger kid, and he basically can't quite understand half of what I'm doing anyway.
Yeah, I just went over his head.
But he definitely knows that I'm driving around with a vehicle that doesn't have a state license plate on it, because I parked right there in the damn sheriff's office in broad view of the damn window that basically they can look out and see it.
Yeah, you make sure you park it there.
Oh, yeah, I park right there, basically. I keep trying to get the local female police department deputy or whatever to try and come against me, but so far I can't find her at the right time. Because I want to go into court and I want to basically tell that judge to make her eat the damn ticket. I want to stand there and watch her eat it.
So, Patrick, if we do a U.C.C. for the car, we could probably just use the registered mail number as the tag number, could we not?
You'll get something. Basically, you can always, I've got a registered mail number on my plate that I've got made up. I say there's a, what do I say on there? Basically, I've got the Great Seal on there. I've also got that this is a private mail property, P-PMP-001, and then basically I have a registered mail number at the very top. And say that this is Van Buren Township, Keokuk County, Iowa, on there. But see, I've got the Great Seal on there, and basically that's a biggie right there. And then I got a flag, United States flag, on my damn antenna, because I'm protected by the 13 stripes.
Very good.
Patrick.
Yeah, go ahead.
And this is Rocky again.
Yeah.
Is there any chance that you could give me a call tomorrow?
Well, you can give me a call.
All right.
Okay. My phone number's on most of the documents that I posted out there. That phone number is not a joke phone number. It's the real thing.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Patrick.
Yeah.
Hi. Going back over a couple things we've talked about in the past, would any of this apply now for the life insurance or stocks and or car insurance?
You get rid of them all. You cash them all out.
Just
you don't need. If you've got access to the de jure treasury and you get all of your money out of the Social Security account and you get all the money or the credits out of your certificate of live birth account, what do you need insurance for? You're going to have more than you can spend before you probably die.
I agree. I just didn't know as far as the process of including them on the forms that you're creating right now, and then also the burial plots.
The burial plots?
Mm-hmm. People that have burial plots, prepaid burial plots.
Well, basically, I get rid of the burial plot. I go out there and just buy a hunk of land, and just like Abraham did, and basically stick Sarah head first down the hole and throw a tree over the top of her. That's what I'm planning on doing. In my will, basically say, throw me head first in and stick a damn cherry tree up my ass. I'm dead. What the hell do I care?
No, I was speaking to the including them on the forms. If people already have them.
Well, I'd cash them out. What do you need them for? You're probably not going to get to that point because basically there's probably going to be a big earthquake or basically caldera, and basically a lot of people are just going to get obliterated in the damn explosion coming out of the caldera out of Yellowstone.
Well, we never know what the next moment brings.
You just get burned up. Yeah.
What I was speaking to clearly about the forms, just if you would put them on the forms. If people
you can
already
put them on the farm. You buy the property and basically you get it out of the tax base, and then basically even you have a family farm or something like that.
Not
you
farms, forms. Forms. The forms you're doing.
Why would you put them on the form if you're going to cash them out?
That was the only inquiry. I get what you're saying now. Yes.
No, you just go down to and say, hey, I want to sell my cemetery plot. You go down to the insurance company and say, I want to cash in my insurance policy. I've done that a lot. Till I finally got fed up and said, why in the hell am I even signing up for insurance when I'm going to turn around and cash it out anyway?
Right. I get that. Some of them will not let you cash in.
Along the lines of her question, Patrick, could we take old mortgages and put them on the non-UCC form and ask for $25 million or some figure for that?
Try and concentrate on what you've got at hand right now, okay?
Okay.
Then when you get the funds, then if you want to go back in after the other, you have money in your back pocket and you can think a little clearer, okay?
Yeah, I agree.
My inquiry was not coming from getting the money in the pocket, frankly. Not at all. It was just to get rid of them. And for people that have those, to add them to the forms now as a way to release them, get rid of them. Not even about...
Yeah, you can add several. If you've got properties all in the same state, yet they all have to be in the same state. You add those to one UCC. Non-UCC. That's state.
Right.
This isn't rocket science, please. Okay? Think about these things. 1 and 1 equals 2. And then I send 2 to this state. 1 and 1 equals 2 over here. I send these 2 to this state. But to two different departments, because each department issued a different instrument. Now, you can add them all up when you send them to the U.S. trustee, that you don't make a new UCC out of it. You just take copies of the UCCs you did and put them all in a package and send them all up to the U.S. trustee. Say, take care of this, or ensure that these guys are in compliance, and also double check all taxes and conversions in the process. You will get your 10% tithing when you get done. Don't worry about grandma and grandpa or mom and pa right now. You take care of yourself. Then when you have the funds and you see how you did it for yourself, then you can always go after the others. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You got to love thyself first. Then you can start loving thy neighbor. Because if you can't love yourself, you will never love your neighbor. Any other questions? Nobody else?
Patrick, I got a question.
Okay, speak up a little.
The stuff we did last month, that's null and void today? in terms of getting that stuff recorded in the county recorder's office with the 15 whatevers and the 14, all that. I'm just focusing on
with the baptismal record and the certificate of live birth, or the hospital birth certificate and the Bible entry. If you got those done, complete them. If you haven't, then basically I would do a registered mailing back to yourself with those documents instead of going to the county recorder's office. The only reason I came up with this on doing the registered mail process was because too many of you people out there were running into problems with the county recorders. And I said, hell, there had to be a way to circumvent this. And there is. We use the post office mailing system. And we mail them right back to ourselves because we are a government unto ourselves. We're an international organization, not an incorporation organization, an unincorporated organization. Basically, we're like a loose cannon in their scenario because they don't know where in the hell we're going to start shooting from next.
So you mail it all to yourself, and then you just keep it in that envelope.
Right.
Okay.
And I would stick it in your Bible and keep your Bible in your safe place where you want it. See, we were supposed to be entered into the book of life, and the Bible is a book of life. Also a lot of death in there, too, but basically it's really supposed to be the book of life. It's supposed to have your family records, your family tree, and everything else in there.
Okay. So is this the same way you do the postage as far as the $250,000, I guess, it's insured $250,000?
Against what?
Is the
$250,000 for what?
For the registered mail?
No. Basically, we will go in and get all of our postal fees that we paid back when we do the non-UCC against the Postal Service. We will basically put like $25 million lien and claim against the Postal Service. Then basically when we go into the post office, we will have our registered mail number. Well, not a registered mail number. We will have our post office number that we have claimed, like in my case, IA, and then my 9-digit zip code, and then U.S. That is my post office. I'm going to claim that. That will also be my exemption number because it's my de jure United States of America post office. And then basically I can stand over the postal system with that number and say, hey, I'm not paying any postal service fees because it's already prepaid. The Postal Service has been using our assets out there for their benefit. They are a for-profit organization. There is not one charity, there is not one government office in this country that is not operating for profit right now. Not one. All the charities out here, they're operating for their own profits and gains. From the Salvation Army all the way down. And then same way with all the churches. There isn't one that's an honest church in this country.
That's right. Does the BC need to be endorsed?
I didn't understand what you said.
Does the birth certificate need to be endorsed?
the certificate of live birth needs to be endorsed when you send it back to the Bureau of Vital Statistics, yes. But your living hospital birth certificate doesn't need to be endorsed. You just take a JPG of that, or your Bible entry page, you do a JPG of that, and then you put that in an affidavit form like I posted up on the site. The template's up there on the site. Also with your baptismal certificate. And then you get that notarized by a notary, and then you can put that into your records. You don't need to record it into the county. You can basically turn around and put a registered mail number on it and send it back to yourself. And then you can make certified copies of that after you send it back, or you run the copies before you put it in the envelope to send it to yourself. And then you can do a certified certification of that, because now you're holding that original affidavit in your records. See the beauty of this? We don't need them. They need
marriage certificates and divorce.
Yes, you do the same thing.
Right.
The marriage certificate goes into the Bureau of Vital Records for the state.
Mhm.
And see, in most cases, there's a bond against both parties in that marriage.
Mhm.
See, that was supposed to be paying for the child support and everything, but you didn't place a claim on that marriage certificate. You place a claim on that marriage certificate, now that marriage certificate has to pay all these people that are in prison because of non-payment of child support. They can get out. They have to do a non-UCC against that marriage contract and then order the payment to be drawn from that UCC that you have out against that marriage certificate. 90% of all the people, in fact, probably higher than that, probably about 95% of all the people that are in prison are in there on trumped up charges because they did not place a claim out there to combat the fraudulent bankers' claims. The state bankers or whoever, all these attorneys, all these bar attorneys are getting a kickback out of any court case you ever went into. You ever hire an attorney? Basically, he's getting a kickback. You can turn around and file charges against the shithead. Because he was working for his own back pocket against you. And also for the profit back pocket of the judge. And then basically it's just like Little Orphan Annie. You claim your orphans, and basically you're going to be Daddy Warbucks.
Did everybody
Any other
leave?
movies you want me to go through?
Judgments. What if you have judgments for something?
You need to get your UCCs in, and then those will cancel out all judgments against you.
No, against someone else. Like they owe you.
Go and say the Our Father for you 25 times. Think about the words that are in that prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Then ask the question again.
Well, I think there's people that are not asking questions on here, and I'm trying to think of different things to cover.
But be kind, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You got to show love, you got to show kindness, and you got to believe in the system.
Absolutely.
Okay? The Beatitudes that are in the Bible weren't put there for naught. Okay? But they're not religion. They are trying to instill into you your moral rights and understanding, not religious, but how you operate in the system. Okay? To love thy neighbor. But you also have to love thyself first, like I said. Some of the hardest person to forgive is yourself for being as stupid as you are. Why didn't I think of this? You'll probably be asking that until the day you die. Well, about sooner or later, you better stop asking that question and just let it ride and get on with living. I'm not trying to knock you people down. I'm trying to build you up, really. Because you've been torn down by the bankers and by the school system, by the religious churches and everything else. That's not my goal in life. I'm trying to pump you up in the process to be able to come out of the system so that when you come out, you will basically be able to stand on your own 2 feet and not get back into the system. Know that they can't touch you.
Speaking of school systems, what about the school certificates, university diplomas, what have you?
Take care of the things you've got. Most of those will be taken care of when you close down the birth certificate and the Social Security account.
They'll just all fall in line, like little soldiers. Right.
Then you can burn those damn school certificates and college certificates because they weren't worth the paper they were printed on.
Well, it seems like from a previous call, a couple months back maybe, that you had mentioned some of those.
Probably had, but I'm trying to get you to get the big shit first, okay?
Oh, yeah, I do. I see what you're saying.
Okay. What you want to do with the little shit, that's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Sometimes, like I said, you forgive thy debtors, okay? And get on with your life.
Sweep of that will make it a lot easier for all of us.
Huh?
I think one big giant sweep of doing that would make it a lot easier for all of us, for the whole.
Well, you've got to have the understanding of how to do this, and you've got to go into certain ones. Not everything can be done all in one swell swoop. They're not going to allow you to do it that way. So you take baby steps.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, that's called out in quite a few movies out there. You got to take baby steps before you can start running.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all these people, they're in rehab coming out of the hospital. I mean, they don't just jump on that damn machine and start running right away. They have to get one leg to move and then get the other leg to move, so they're making baby steps. And then they start building their confidence. They can do this. It's like the little choo-choo train in the damn cartoons when we were growing up. I can. You do one simple thing and see how it works, and then basically you can add more to it. That's what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. I
see basically, hey, this thing is so monstrous in the damn process. Once I get one thing done, I'm on to something else. My mind is going 90 miles an hour in this damn process. But see, I've done several of them already, so I can basically see the next step. You've got to get to that first step first. Get one done. And then you'll see, hey, that was pretty damn easy. I can do another one. And then the next step is even easier. Okay? This ain't that hard, really. Okay, anybody else with questions? *6 if you want to unmute yourself and ask a question.
I guess not, Patrick.
Okay, call it a night then, Tom.
Thank you, Patrick, very
Okay.
much. Thank you.
Okay, good night.
Sure.
Night.